ride out.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Atlanta Falcons. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now Newton. He's going to loft one deep left. And this throw will be intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
The numbers for Coleman last week. 19 carries, 102 yards.
Well, we know they've Playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shake Thompson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you hope is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And
he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
Man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well. For them.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. This is White on the screen. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On second down, Collins. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's Newton now on second down. Finding room to the 20. Funches has it complete. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now a give to Collins. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Alex Collins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Falcons are in for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he'll get this one up to the 26. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's White. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now Collins. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Gotta love a guy who'll stand in there and deliver. No matter what the pressure, waits for the route to come open, hangs in there, and completes the pass.
Here's Collins. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down. Newton over the middle, complete. It's Schmidt. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. Throw left side, complete. That's Schmidt. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. And this is complete. It's Allen. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let you...
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Dwayne Allen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had to be... of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, they had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point put through by Succop. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold to right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Falcons have broken our tie. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now a first down throw for Newton. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On first down, Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now he's forced out right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Here's Humphries. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Here's Newton. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On third down, Newton looking for the out route, and he's got more. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Newton on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Newton on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schmidt. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Newton on third down. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him. And
very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
37 yards on the punt with no return, and the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
4 down. Check. There's a set. 180.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ready.
To throw on second down. Newton throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack
is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They run with Collins. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They go again with Collins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And Suckup will put this one right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen. It turned into a really nice play.
Coleman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Newman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time, 9.
Leopard!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. DJ Reader breaking throw to get him for a loss of 7.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Coleman now. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Newton to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. He has been nearly impossible to throw on all year long. If it was me, I'd say he could go ahead and book that trip to the NFL Awards show in February. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, I think. What do you think?
I would agree with you. And the reason why? Because he takes the ball away. Because he gets to the football. The only way a defensive back ever wins this award is because they have a number of interceptions, takeaways, knockdowns, all of that. Add it all together, he's created a lot of big plays.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And it is incomplete. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This is Coleman. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now
Here we go.
they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll toss it to Coleman. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Milano, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. It's his 3rd year in the league. Not a rookie, not even a sophomore. He's got to know by now when to get rid of the football.
Yeah, so much for the internal clock. I think we put an external clock on now. When we went plus 5 seconds, the ball's got to get away from him. Otherwise, that's the end result.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On 1st and 10, Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Atlanta.